Nearly 70% of Americans use the internet at home or at work, and most of us probably assume that we are being tracked, monitored while we're using the internet. But corporate America has some seriously aggressive spy tools in its digital toolbox that you might never spot on your own. Fox 4's Matt Grubbs called in a little expert advice. Matt.
Heather, that's the only way I could possibly handle this. We brought in Matt Wright. Matt is an assistant professor of computer science and engineering. He's over at UT Arlington. He also runs their ISEC information security lab there. And then the man to my right is Ernie Capobianco. Ernie, you've been here before. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Ernie runs Square One advertising agency here in Dallas, has a long list of clients whose names you'd recognize. And Heather, what we're talking about here is cookies. Matt, you're the computer expert. Briefly, what's a cookie?
A cookie is just a piece of information that's stored on your computer that the web server is going to use to help keep track of your browser and personalize your experience.
Okay, and a personalized experience, Ernie, to you as an ad man, has to be something pretty valuable. What do advertisers do with this?
Well, Matt, the cookies actually allow the advertisers to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. So, for example, if a good example is Amazon. I have my Amazon account. If I log into Amazon, all of my past purchases come up, all the information that's relevant to me pops up. So it makes sure that the experience online is relevant to you as a consumer, and advertisers pay money for that.
Okay, exactly. So when you log into Amazon, you may not necessarily see a generic-looking screen. You want to see something that reflects what you buy.
Yeah, my stuff. I don't want to see lady stuff. I want to see my stuff, my books, my sports stuff, whatever I want.
Okay, Matt, so far this doesn't sound like what we would consider spying. As we're taking a look at Amazon right there, that's the generic screen. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the screen. There's Ernie's screen. So that's what he wants to buy. Matt, this isn't spying. If I'm surfing around here, what am I telling advertisers that I don't know I'm telling them?
Well, with Amazon.com, we have an example of what's called a first-party cookie. Amazon's keeping track of that information for their use. But we also have third-party cookies. This is like an ad network that's going to be keeping track of what you do not only on one site but on multiple sites, and then can link all of that information together. So you may have, two different interests that you might want to keep separate. That's personal. That's how you want to keep your information. But the ad network could be tracking all of that together.
And this is without you knowing it. And Ernie, as we looked around, one of the prime examples here is dictionary.com. You log on to there, and we should tell you that the Wall Street Journal has been doing a report on this. They found that over 200 of these third-party cookies are being downloaded onto your computer and tracked without you knowing it. And then the first thing we see up here is a car ad. What's going on here?
Exactly. Matt, what happened is the advertisers use demographic targeting. They use lifestyle targeting, which is people who have actually been to, say, for example, in this case, a Ford site or a Cadillac site. They use behavioral targeting. So, for example, I might have typed in my Google mail, for example, I'm looking for a car. There's contextual targeting. I might look on Google and search for new cars. And then if I'm a local advertiser, I would pay for just local ads being placed in my area. So I'm going to go on dictionary.com and they're going to show me an ad for a car. And that's helpful to me as a consumer because it's relevant to me. So the idea is you provide relevant information to the right person at the right time. So if I'm looking for cars and I see fishing equipment coming on my sites, I may not be too interested in that.
It may not be interesting to you, but Matt, there's a privacy aspect that comes in on here. If I'm surfing online or if I'm reading over the newspaper in the morning, we talked about this earlier, you may not necessarily want the guy who delivered the newspaper leaning over your shoulder and saying, hey, I saw you were reading that article, maybe you should check out this item on B3. I mean, what's going on here?
Well, absolutely. There's, just like at home where you use a curtain or a fence to protect your privacy, when you're online, there's a certain amount of privacy that you may feel more comfortable giving out this information, or you may not feel comfortable giving out this information. So it's important that consumers have the option of being able to opt out of these things.
And Matt, that's one point we do want to make. Ernie, you said there's a group of advertisers who are actually allowing people to opt out. We've posted that information on our website. And you said they're also looking at finding ways to make the consumer aware that they're doing this.
That's exactly right. As email, you need to opt into email. Eventually, I predict that you'll have to opt in to be part of these behavioral studies, basically, or tracking issues. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Okay.
This is like one of the top issues of the American Association of Advertising Agencies right now.
Ernie, thanks. We appreciate it. Matt, thanks for walking us through this.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.